Good morning. This is Maria Quattrone with Fearless Female Leaders, their untold stories revealed. And I want to welcome my guest, Kim Dowling, this morning. Kim, welcome. Great to see you, my friend.
Hi, good morning, my friend. Good morning, everybody.
All right. Well, we're excited to talk to you today, Kim, about why you wanted to share your story in the book. Before we get started with that, though, tell us a little bit about your business and where you're from, and let's rock and roll.
Well, that's easy. So I am originally from Atlanta, had family businesses up in Atlanta, and now I am a Florida transplant down here with everyone else. Moved down to Florida in about 2014, I believe. And we have a brokerage here. We're on the west coast of Florida, and we're right here at Sarasota and Manatee and Pinellas. So a little bit below Tampa. Everybody usually knows where Tampa is.
Yeah, you're in a great area, and now you expand from the East Coast to the West Coast, right?
No, straight from Atlanta down to the west coast of Florida. So
Oh,
we grew up here. We summered here. My grandparents were here. So it was an easy transition.
but your business is both coast. Your real
Oh, yeah.
estate.
Our brokerage.
Yeah,
Yes. We have a team in Orlando, and then we go to what's called the Space Coast, which is the west coast. So we kind of just go right along the center of Florida and help as many families as we can. It's
awesome.
pretty exciting. Lots of
It
growth and
is.
expansion going on right now.
Yeah, it definitely is in Florida, and your business has grown quite a bit over the last several years.
Yeah, really the last year. Mostly because I just made the decision to get to it and get growing again.
Get
So,
to it and get growing. I
yeah,
love
it's
that.
been fun. It's been good.
I love that, and I love that you didn't give up.
No, none of us can give up. That's why we're here, right?
No, we're not
Can't give
giving
up.
up. Although
Nope.
sometimes it seems appetizing.
Uh, sometimes, sometimes we don't have a choice because we feel like, listen, all of us have periods in life where we feel like the literal sky falls in on us and just buries us. And we have to figure out how to survive. So we've got that survival period where it's like, okay, this shit can't get any worse. And then the next day you wake up and it's worse. Like those periods in life where you're like, what is happening? And then you just have to figure out, you have to figure out how to heal. And then you've got to make the decision on whether or not you want to stay buried and hidden or whether or not you want to just claw your way out of it and figure out how to rebuild and restructure and new people and new places and whatever it takes just to start planting again and go into the next phase of life that the universe wants to kind of butt kick you into, right?
Absolutely. So that's
Yeah.
funny you said that because that's what inspired this book
Mm-hmm.
was fearless female leaders. It's not about 100%. The fearless part comes from feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
Yes.
Because some
Yes.
days I'm scared to death. Like today, I'm a little scared. There's a lot of stuff happening and a lot of things, moving parts going on, and a vacation coming up, and overwhelming anxiety
Mhm.
can easily set in,
100%.
especially at 3 a.m.
Yes. You know, Maria, you are such a badass, and your family and your friends and your team, they're so lucky to have you. I would ride with you anywhere. And that's just what we have to do. And you say it all the time. I hear you say it all the time. You have to feel the fear and do it anyways. And I try and just instill and share that into my team. Like, guys, the fear isn't going anywhere. You just have to figure out how to wrap it in a box, put a pretty bow on it, put it on a shelf, and figure out how to get it done anyways. That's what we
Exactly.
have to do to kind of get to our best lives and our best sparkle and shine and
So
100%.
either way, right, Kim, you're going to be in pain. So it's going to be pain of not moving forward and
Mhm.
staying stagnant. And actually, there's no such thing as staying stagnant because you're going the opposite direction, or
Yes.
feeling the fear and feeling the pain sometimes of the fear
Mhm.
and taking the action anyway, because
Yes.
that's how we build a beautiful life.
Of course. Yes. We don't have a choice. What else are we going to do? Like all of us have had, you know, hits that we've taken in life. I mean, I know, who's been through a divorce? I have. So do you just crawl in a hole, or do you feel the fear and fearlessly go out and try and find your person? And then just even coming down into Florida, like I'm a Georgia girl and I'm an Atlanta girl, and we had 6 businesses operating and all of my friends and all of my family. And we just, excuse me, we went through a period of time where like my family was torn apart, and a lot of it was out of our control, but just ripped to shreds and torn apart. And then you either have to figure out how to just stay in that place so it doesn't happen again. And quite frankly, I did it. I got stuck for years, and we went through a lot of chaos with my father. So what happened is we moved my mom. My mom's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Florida. I need to rebuild and heal. So we moved my mom down here.
Right.
And then as I was going back and forth to Atlanta, I met my husband, my now husband, and this beautiful life that we have together. Like the universe brought him to me. But even here, I'm used to building, and I'm used to creating. I am an entrepreneur. I have that brain. I have been handed that brain from both sides of my family. And that is my world, to kind of educate and elevate with teaching and coaching and writing and speaking. But when I got down to Florida, met my husband, crawled in a little hole, and I was like, okay, this isn't happening to me again. I got to hide. I don't want anyone to hurt me again. I don't want anyone to be able to knock my feet out from under me so drastically again. After all of my hard work, I don't want to lose it again. I even just went into real estate. I mean, I've been in real estate for, I don't know, 1993, whatever that is, 30 years, 29 years.
A long time.
Just like, all right, I'm going to go sell some houses, live a little quiet life. And I can see it now, but it was really like, I'm going to go sell some houses and hide a little bit. But then you start building your people, and you start finding new people around you. And then you start healing. You start coming out of your shell, and you start feeling like yourself again. And then you find new friends and new people and new groups. You're one of those friends. And you just come to a point where you're like, all right, I don't know how to do it, but it's time to get back to who we are and how powerful we are and what we're meant to do. And then even then, I built a small team. I was like, all right, we got 6 people. This is good. I'm going to hang out some more. And one day you just look around and you're like, no, this is not it. You gotta go for it. I looked around and really understood for the first time that everything that I had done in my life and the companies that I ran and the teams and the businesses that we built, it wasn't, especially with real estate, it wasn't the houses. Like I looked around and I was like, I love this. I love our clients. I love everything that we do. I love being out in the field in real estate, but this is not where I'm supposed to be. For me, it's not the houses, it's the people. So that's when we started to grow. When I realized you're just wasting time, kiddo. It's time to get going again. You've got another chapter here. Sink your teeth into it. And it doesn't even matter to me what this becomes. It's a different build period when you are in your 50s than when you're in your 20s and 30s. And like, Lord, whoever you want me to pour into and whoever I can help and whoever I can just motivate forward to build something for their lives, I'll build as many businesses as you want to build. Bring them to me and I'll pour into them. It's really the people. And if you're pouring into people, which is what we do every single day, it's all about our teams and how successful they are. Like you got to take that fear and put it aside. All that, okay, offices are falling apart and there's too much to do. And now I have this training and, who's being left behind and just, do we have enough space? Where can we go? Can I go on vacation is terrifying for us sometimes. Like, okay, I got to go because I have to reset my brain, right?
Terrifying.
I got to get a rest. All right, but what's going to happen while I'm gone?
Nothing.
That period before and after when we get back, like you're in the middle of that because you're going to go take this great, beautiful trip with Chip, and you're going to come back just completely rejuvenated, and it's going to pour even another level of fire onto your team when you get back. We have to do it. But scary.
I think we're required to do it, although it's scary
Mhm.
as F.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it's so scary to kind of leave. We worry about, I know you do, because we talk all the time. Like we just worry about everybody being all right. We're such mama bears and big sisters, and we just worry that everything's okay and everybody has what they need. It's hard to turn it off. I know. Do you do this? I know it drives my husband crazy. I know when I go on vacation, it takes a solid 2 or 3 days to even shut my brain down.
Oh,
To
well,
even
you're
just
better than you're better than me, so
no.
bravo. I'm about a
Um,
week. It takes me about a week, which is why we have to take a little bit of longer trips than normal people because
ugh,
I'm just going and going.
um,
So I want to ask you a question.
okay.
You could have done a book and a different book or your own book. What inspired you to want to be in this one?
I think to be able to inspire other people, like other agents and other women and other entrepreneurs, everyone hears a story differently. And every story touches people in a different way. So to collaborate on this book and to be invited to collaborate on this book with you, and then to bring these amazing warriors and women together and put all of their stories into one book, someone is going to take that book and with all of the stories that we put together, and when we do it together and we just pour our hearts into it, we're going to be able to touch so many people. Like my story is going to touch just a little percentage of the people that read it, and then yours, and then Alicia's. Like it's just going to grow and expand. And I think our reach is going to be much more powerful than doing it on our own. Always stronger together, always. And almost everything that we do in life. You can do it together with your tribe and your team of people, you're always going to come out better.
Right?
That's
What do they
my
say?
philosophy.
You can go fast alone, but further together,
Hmm.
right? Long
Yeah.
term. So you think about it, you think about, the legacy that you'll leave behind and all the amazing things that you've done that people don't know about. They don't know the behind the scenes. I was like part of it too. Like the behind the scenes that people just don't know. Because all we see, right? We're on social. We're all like, we look pretty. And although my
Yeah.
hair, I don't know. Everybody looks nice and it's a highlight reel.
Mhm.
But they don't get to see what really it takes and what really, it's what challenges we had to overcome in
Yeah.
order to get where we are today.
Hmm.
And those challenges are, and what we had to walk through is what allows us to continue the journey and feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
I agree. Ditto, triple, 100%. And all of our teams and our people, as they're building their businesses, like as they learn to understand what it's going to take. I mean, families don't understand how much we put into our businesses, and are just sometimes our friends don't understand. I know I have really great friends, and they're like, "It's the weekend. What are you doing?" Like, I don't have weekends. Just kind of blurs into one another. I need to find pockets of time for myself, but I mean, Sunday might as well be a Wednesday for me. And
Well,
then
you
we
need to
just
see
have,
Sunday needs to be your day. You're going to take your a
I'm
day.
trying to do, all right, you have inspired me because I'm not very good at taking time. And you are just the little things when we surround ourselves with different people. Like, so you really are. You are so good at taking time over the weekend and you shut it down. And I've watched you do this. And it inspires me to at least find this chunk. Might not be able to take a whole day, but you know what? I can take half a day on Saturday into half a day on Sunday. You can make it work. We can all make it work. And there's blood and sweat and tears that we have to put in behind the scenes that nobody will ever see because we have to be pretty and we have to look good and we have to be successful and winning on social media, and we can't say the wrong thing or you're going to get crushed. But that was before even online and social media. I mean, we've always been like that. I mean, for heaven's sakes, my first divorce, I mean, whatever. It looked really good on the outside to everybody. It looked really good on the outside. Happy little family. But on the inside, it was two people that were wrong for each other. Nothing drastically wrong. But you still, you still put the facade. We've done that we always do that. Put on your best facade and make it look good. But if you want to win, you've got to gut it out on the background. And then if you really want to win and you want to make a difference, then you tell your story and you share your lessons learned and how you got through those challenges, and you try and shortcut the lives of the people that you've come in touch with. I mean, that's all we do is we're like, okay, yeah, we did that. Did that same thing when we were new agents 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Yep. Understand that fear. Yep. 100% understand those nerves. Yep. Here's what we did to build our confidence. That's all we do. It's like, and that's our whole kind of community that we have together. It's like, all right, guys, what's happening and how can we shortcut it for each other so we can move faster, quicker, better, stronger, right?
All of it, all of the above. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what would you say, Kim, to somebody who, is a strong, fearless female, but they're afraid to tell their story? I've heard this a lot by asking. People are not ready or they're afraid. What would you say to them?
I can share my thoughts because, I mean, how long did I stall and say no with you? And I'm not sure. And listen, we all have, if you're meant for big things in this lifetime, if you want to live a big life, then you're going to take some hits. And some of them aren't pretty, and like straight up, some of them aren't embarrassing. And my story, it weaves in and out with a lot of family drama that was very public. And I stay hesitant to open that door again. And none of us want to be judged for our decisions. Like, none of us want to be looked down upon because we could have done it better. We just have to take a breath and be like, I survived this. And it might have been messy and it might have been ugly, but look how far I've come. And I'm not even to the place where I want to be at. I have so much work to do, and I have so much just even healing still, with myself and some damage that I did. I still have things to fix. But if you can figure out what your story can do for others and the value that you can put out in the world, and if you can stop focusing on, I'm going to look silly, I don't know if it's good enough, I don't know, it's overwhelming, if you can just stop, if you can just literally take your eye off yourself and just be like, can this story and this path that you took to overcome the challenges that you were given in your life to where you are today, can that story help someone else? And if that's all you focus on and just don't worry about it, like, book's going to go where it's going to go. It's going to find the hands of the women and the leaders that it finds. And we're not in charge of that. We're in charge of sharing our story that we've been given. And hopefully, I mean, what if it just changed a couple of people? What if a couple of people are hiding in a hole and afraid to just pick themselves back up and move forward? Or what if a few people, like, this is a leadership book. So what if there are a few people out there that are like, I know that I am meant for more. I know that I am meant for more in this life. I know that I am capable of more. I know that I want more. And whatever you want to do with that, do you want to build a business? Do you want to make a career change? Whatever you want to do, to read a book of leaders that were like, listen, hey, it looks really good, but it's messy on the inside. And we didn't always have full support. We didn't always have everybody cheering us on. Everybody's going to have people that are like, nope, don't do that. Or, oh, you're too busy. Why would you take that on? Or, do you really want to put that out there? A lot of it's just because sometimes people don't want to see you succeed. And then the other half of it is that we always have people that are in such a protective mode with us. They're like, no, don't do that. That's too much. You're too tired. But what if you know that you're meant for more and you want to lead your life forward into another path? And what if you read it from a work and career and business standpoint? You're like, I mean, what? At the end of the day, it's like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. That's all it is,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. And the great part about it is, for our book, is that we're doing it by interview style. So if you don't want to write, you don't have to write, which will save an enormous amount of time. I'm great. I have a PR company, Kim, I
Mhm.
think you do as well, that I
Yeah.
work with. And we just did an article. It came out yesterday, I think, or the day before, Friday, actually, in Authority Magazine.
Ah, that's amazing.
And yeah, all about how to get the highest price for your property,
Mhm.
real estate related. And I he had all these questions, like a dozen, and I answered them all on. I had him do an interview, had him
Mhm.
interview me on Zoom, and I spoke them all because I don't have time to sit there and write.
Mhm.
I'm better like banging it out just vocally,
Yeah,
and
listen, we all
so
have different talents and different skill sets, and you know all of that. So, like, if you happen to be your wheelhouse, like marketing, copywriting, you and I can knock that out. And but if you can't do that, like really and truly, if you feel like you have a story to tell, and it would be so amazing, like just pick up the phone or message Maria. She knows all the ins and outs of the process, and there's so many different ways to get this done, to get your story out there. And you can make it easy, and you can condense your time. You can make it where you have all this assistance and help. It's the story that matters. So if they just call you and walk through the process and just kind of just jump on board and jump into this book with us, you can make it so easy. You've got
I
it
love
all
it.
laid out. You've picked the
Yeah,
perfect title for the women that are coming on board. It is you've designed the perfect title for us. It relates to all of us. So if it speaks to your heart, then that means you need if someone, so this is what I believe. I believe that the universe whispers to you. Just kind of whispers in your ear a little bit, and it nudges you in a direction. And if you listen, you just kind of keep going along on your path. And if you don't listen, it's going to kind of tap you on the shoulder, kind of make sure that you're paying attention. And then from there, it just escalates. You don't pay attention to that tap, eventually you're going to get a brick over the head. And you don't pay attention to that, eventually it's going to take your legs out from under you and really get you to pay attention. But with something that's so fun and adventurous and important like this, which is sharing stories to help other people. If you have a whisper where it's like, my story can make a difference, who cares how many people it makes a difference for? If you have that whisper
I
that's
say
my
just
story can
one.
make a difference, like, yes, then come on, let's go. And if you don't know how to do it, Maria will walk you through the steps of how to do it. She's amazing. There's 6 different ways that
Oh,
you could get your collaboration in the book done, right? I mean, you walked it through with me.
yes.
So I'm like, Maria, I don't have time for that. You're like, yes, you do. You don't want to
It's
write it yourself? You're going to do it this way. Do it interview style. You're like, yes, you do. Find the time. So you just have to find the time and trust.
Well, I think, you know what? It's also a great time to do this, I think, Kim, because of everything that's happening. And there's like, things, markets are in a turmoil a little bit, and there's all kinds of things going on. This is when, like, you know, we as strong women leaders want to
Mhm.
continue to build our brand, our authority brand, and getting our story out there. And what better way to connect with people than for them to know your story?
Mhm.
Because, I say all the time to new people that come into our organization, I say, I want to tell you something because I want to be able to relate to them or them to relate to me, both.
Mhm.
They say, remember this. There was a day when I never, ever sold a piece of real estate. There was a day when I didn't own this business. There was a day that I was you and I sat in your shoes,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
So we all start at zero. We instill in a daily mindset of start every day at zero. Like you had nothing going on, no money in account. What will you do today to make something happen for somebody? And taking that approach and just like running with it, right? So I think that there's a lot of great reasons right now why. But what was one of the ones that you loved about the part about being in the book, outside of telling your story and using it for your brand? Um,
Well, I agree with timing. I I am trying to lead our team forward In life, there are very few opportunities where everything around you just contracts and retreats. And that's where we are right now. We're in complete and total chaos. And everywhere you turn, it's just chaos. And it is meant to get everyone to retreat, to quiet, to settle down. If you take those opportunities in life when the shifts are happening and everyone else backs up, and you have the courage to fearlessly step out and run as fast as you can, that's when you take market share. That's when you build your brand. That's when you become a name. That's where you get the attention. So whatever your business is, I would imagine in leadership, most likely you're in sales. One way or another, we're all in sales. So sales is attention from other people. And so if you take, like, really and truly, we have a 6-month window. You think it's rough now? It's probably going to get rougher next year. What if you just really just got to it, ran as fast as you could, put the hustle in, put the grind in, and set yourself that you were ahead of the game when everybody else starts waking up? That's where we are right now. So for timing, it couldn't be better. So if we can pick up with this book a few people that are just on the fence, back and forth, should I go now? Like, what are you going to do? We can either sit back and go, okay, every single expense, cut it off, tighten it up, stop this, this, and this. I mean, that you're not going to get anywhere that way. If everyone else is doing that, then listen, double down on the time and the work and the effort. I mean, for heaven's sakes, we've taken our marketing and some of our budgets. I mean, we've quadrupled them because you have a small window of time. So if this book hits and we're in that shifted window, when someone can make that decision to run while everybody else is retreating, if you can make the decision to run forward, then we're just, look at the difference that we can make to pull them out of the shadows faster before people even realize what's happening. That's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go.
I think
And it also keeps us on track too. Like, it's a reminder, like, let's take the time, all of us that are in this book, take the time and like dig out, like, what are we doing and why are we doing this? And we're in a shift too. So what is it that we want to build? What is our purpose? Like, get it on paper, get it out there. And then there's some serious accountability. And on our ass, this is what we say we're going to do. So let's go do it, right? Hold each other accountable. And
holding each
it's on
other
paper
accountable.
in a book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
what if you just think about that? There's the investment of time.
mhm.
Obviously, there's the financial investment, but if you look at it, how long would the book last for? Forever.
Yeah. And then if you are a leader in whatever industry that you're on, several of us are on real estate. I believe there's people that are coming in that are collaborating that aren't even in real estate.
Mhm.
Real estate's just a vehicle. So whatever vehicle you use to lead your life forward and your teams forward and your people forward, like, your opportunities will continue to grow. So here's be a trainer, be a coach, be an author, be a speaker. But at the end of the day, it's all impact. And at the end of the day, we work with sales. The flip side of that is marketing and public relations. So literally, flat out, here you go. Add this to your bio. Go take a risk and use it personally to move yourself forward and declare your intentions and hold yourself accountable to what it is you want to accomplish in life and what it is, how you want to do that. And then here's your bio. Put it out to the universe and see who else needs you on your next step. Who's going to read this book and want you to come and share with this group or share with this team? Or it's everything across the board.
Right.
It's public relations at its finest.
And the credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So it all wraps together.
And we don't have to jump off this cliff all by ourselves. Like, we can do it together. Right? Like,
exactly.
It's a little scary kind of, and then quite frankly, we're all very busy. So I mean, what are the biggest objections? So I know mine was time, and really sharing a story in the most impactful way to put it in a book means you've got to be really vulnerable. So time and vulnerability, and then, like, you got to fearlessly get past those fears of what may or may not happen and just share your story. It's all we have. But then the time, I don't think any one of us have the time right now to say, because we're on such a fast trajectory to make sure that our teams and our people stay ahead. So we can still make an impact and still do this book, but shortcut our times by all of us just taking a chunk of it and getting it done. Like, I don't have time to do a whole one myself. You could do a whole book yourself. Who has time to do that? Let's be fast and do it together and then see what's next.
Exactly.
Right?
It's also a stepping stone so that if you do
Mhm.
want to do a book. So I wrote in my journal in January that I was going to do a book this year. And I wrote it down and I kind of like chuckled, like, okay, how's that happening? Like, because I already knew what other things were on my plate. And I put it out there. And then I met Adriana from Amma Publishing. And then I come up with the idea, being fearless, because I talk about that a lot. And been fearless and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Because I'm scared shit. I told you some days I'm just like, I want to go hide somewhere. But there's nowhere to hide. So I continue on like you continue on.
So
And yes, and then so it all starts to come together. So it's, feeling that fear, doing it anyway, and
So
really
this is
being
what
able
would be so interesting to me. All right. So if you back up a minute, because I haven't asked you this. So in January, when you wrote, I want to write a book on your list, where did that come from? Because you have pulled this together and you've led this forward, and you're going to make a difference by pulling this group together. But what made you write that down? I haven't asked you that yet.
What made me write that down? I was making a list of like all the things that I want to accomplish. And I just felt like being a leader, every leader, especially women. I just read an article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday about the disparity still in wages, and it infuriates me. Like, the disparity is so great between men and women in wages. Anyway, I wrote it down because since being in leadership role, leading, mentoring other humans, right? And I thought, and I love to speak on real estate and also inspirational, aspirational sales. I'd say that's probably a good topic for me as well. And I thought the natural next step to continuing to build brand is to be in a book and to have a book. And the reason why, Kim, thank you for asking this, that I wanted to do it this way is, you know what? Doing a book is a little scary as AF, right? A little bit. And so I thought a collaboration book is a great stepping stone to then maybe the next step is to do the solo book. So, or maybe another collaboration book about something else, because the next one I want to do is going to be real estate related, right? So I don't even, that's how it came up. That's like what happened. And then I put it out there, and then I'm in this group because I go on a lot of other people's podcasts now, and I signed an agency to do this. So I have 52 this year that I'm doing, 52 other podcasts. And that's how I met her, because of that group, because she's in that group.
Publisher. Yeah.
Yes. So it was serendipitous and it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And so I really, I'm extremely passionate about this. And every time, I talk about it, I get a little bit teary-eyed because it is emotional. It is our stories, but our stories are so, even how crazy they are so beautiful, because that's what makes us who we are today. And it's the challenges that we had to overcome through them to get to where we are. So, and we still have challenges to overcome to go to the next level.
I know. It's going to be interesting when people read this book, how I know that people see us in a certain way and they see the presentation and the outcome. None of us, listen, if you're a leader and you're a winner and you're driving forward, there is no time to sit and complain and vent. So first off, you don't do that with very many people. Every once in a while, we all need a release, but we just naturally are not every day just putting out all of the behind the scenes stories. It will be interesting to see is like, behind the scenes with me. I know behind the scenes with you and all these amazing women. It'll be interesting to see what other people think. They're like, oh, wow, that's what it took. And just really even help elevate them to, it's going to be harder than you think. It's going to take longer than you think. But to share that background, I think is amazing. And I think the story that I want to highlight a point for everyone. We all have our vision boards, I would imagine. I have my vision board, and there's so many things, and we all have our goal lists, right? There's so many things that you can put on there. I have them on there that don't have a date. So the fact that you not only wrote down that you want to write a book, but then you wrote down, and listen, we see each other and hang out a couple of times a year in person. So, we came out at the end of the year last year and we were all insanely busy. Remember that? Like we didn't have any time to breathe, especially in January when we set our goals. We're just trying to keep up with the real estate market that we're in, right? And coming out of pandemic and all of that, so that you had the courage to write down, I want to write a book. But I'd like for everyone to hear that you wrote down, and I want to do it this year in the middle of, like, we were hair on fire at the beginning of the year. So to write down, and I want to do it this year, that is someone putting it together for you and for everybody that jumps on board. That's the universe saying, nope, the time is coming. And we didn't know things were going to shift. We didn't know the slowdown was coming. We just could hardly even keep up. But before any of that was even our reality, you wrote it down. And now it's literally the perfect time for this book. You did all that. I'm so proud of you. Like, you did all that.
Thank you, Kim.
It's amazing.
I'm
Put a date to your goals, and this is what happens. Like, it's the perfect time, Maria. It wasn't the perfect time when you wrote it down, but it is now.
That's why I said that, because I wrote it down saying, how's that going to happen? And
write it down anyways. You did it anyways. So it's the same thing with the book. If you have a story to tell, don't judge it. Just do it. Because that means it's supposed to be meant to be.
Yeah. And we all have a story to share. So my hoping is, how many people lives can I affect in a positive way? Right.
We're going to find out.
Yeah. Every day, bringing in new people in. How can we affect them in a positive way?
Yeah.
So, Kim, where can people find you? Should they have a need for Florida real estate? What's the best way for them to reach you?
Y'all, I have the greatest team down here. They pour love and care and attention and service into our clients. I'm so proud of them and into each other. We're such a collaborative team. But if there's anything that I can do in the world to help anyone, I am on Facebook at Kim Dowling, and I'm on Instagram at Kim Dowling Coaching. And I am always here to help anyone that I can. And if anyone has any questions with Florida real estate, personally or business, we're all right here hanging out on the Gulf Coast, down here in the Sunshine State. Everybody wants to come down here. So
everybody wants to come down to Florida, except in August.
Except in August or July. It's actually getting better now. It's July. It's just
July's the bad month. I did go to Miami once in July over 4th of July weekend, and that was the last time I visited Florida in July, and I think that was in 1997. So
my favorite seasons are coming up. So y'all come visit. We'll take good care of you. And but if there's anything that I can do for anyone, or any support I can give you, or any direction, or listen, it's nobody gets to a place in life where you're growing and making an impact without a gazillion people pouring. Like, I know I've had coaches and mentors just pouring into me. That's all that we're releasing. Everything that we received in life, it's just time to give it away.
The more you can give away, the more someday something somewhere comes back, right?
Yeah. All those lessons, they don't do any good if you don't share them. We have a
do
lot of
any
lessons
good.
to share. We got some lessons to share, my friend.
I don't think mine wouldn't fit in the whole, even if I took the whole book, they wouldn't fit in.
Oh my God. No, you do. You do have to narrow it down. It's like, okay.
There's so many.
Here's my half dozen traumas. Which one do we want to hit? Or here's my, 20 best leadership lessons. Which one do you want to hit? It's just the start. It's just the start to first book, collaboration book. It's just the start. Wait to see what comes after this.
It's the first step. And Adriana's going to get us on Amazon International Bestseller. So
Well, let's do
we'll
it.
have her be working on that. It's exciting. We'll be able to use that
Mhm.
in our bios, and it's all
Yeah,
great.
bios and stages.
I love it.
100%. I do too. And I love you. And I just appreciate you.
Mwah.
And we're on the right path, my friends. So let's go see how many people we can help and make a difference when. I mean, you do it every day and I watch it. I watch you all the time. Just watch you killing it up there. And all your
Oh,
scholarship program.
thank
So
you, Kim.
we're doing it. We're on the right
I
path.
saw your Facebook post this morning about the stairs. You only have to
One
see one step at a time. I
one
love
step
that.
at a time, people.
And
Stop
we all have to
worrying about what's around the corner.
we all
One
have to
step.
remember that it's just one step. And make this step, say yes, and
Mhm.
keep saying yes and keep going up the steps. And
Yeah.
guess what? Here's the thing. The steps never end.
That's why, okay, so I intentionally put a staircase on the post that curves because you never see around the corner and you don't know when that sucker ends. I did that on purpose instead of the straight up stairs.
It never ever ends because
Never ends.
there's always somewhere more to do and more to go, and it just never ends. You
Yeah.
never get there. So I learned that actually before we wrap up real quick. I learned that in 2013. I had made a commitment, a goal and commitment to make X dollars. And so you could probably figure out what that number was. And I did. And I looked at my 1099. I will tell you, I was sitting in my office at the time and I'm staring out the window and I open the 1099 and I look at it.
But
And then I go like this. Is that all there is?
no, it's not. Next step.
Meaning
Right?
like nothing's changed. Like things are still
the
the
money.
same.
Oh yeah, no, listen,
Because
money's just paper. Who cares? It's what it can
because
do for you.
it's not, yes, exactly. It's just
Mhm.
money. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, the more of
It's
it, the
like
more you can do.
the more you focus on how can I leave an impact?
Mhm.
How can I leave an impact? And that's why we have scholarship.
Yeah. I had to leave
You know?
everything behind in Atlanta and everything I had in savings. Listen, we had some battles to fight and it just got sucked out. Turn around everything that you worked for, it just sucked out and you're starting over. You go and you're brought to the right path. I would literally, like my husband, I mean, whatever, I could live in a shack with him. It doesn't matter. And then we learn those lessons. Challenges never stop. Chaos never stops. We just get better at learning how to deal with it. We take the punches easier and we get stronger. Listen, if you're being tested, that means you've got a chapter around the corner that you need to be stronger for. So, and then just money, it just opens up the doors a little bit for us. So, solve some problems. So I tell you, when everybody sets their goals on our times and we have our business planning, like I love business planning. So business planning is coming up. We always start that in October and November. It's like, pick a number. That's great. I love your number. Write your number down, get it on the vision board, put it in place. But what is that number going to do for you and your family? Because the number's just a number. Who cares about the number? What's it going to do for you and your family? That's what we're going to go accomplish together.
Yes. We're going to pay off debt. We're going to take the kids to Disney.
Yeah.
We're going to go on that trip to Europe that we've been wanting to take.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah,
all about
life, man.
All about just the experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Did you see the post that our friend Keith Pike put on? Like, time. We have a limited time. Let's get to it.
We're divine beings having a human experience.
Yes.
And we are divine beings having a human experience.
Limited
Because our
time.
souls will continue on, and long, long after Maria and Kim's bodies are no longer here.
I hope so.
But it's the impact that we can leave behind. So that's what the whole premise of the book is about, the impact that you can share with your story that you can leave behind. So thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
I am blessed and grateful to have you in my life. I'm excited about our journey together with the book, Fearless Female Leaders, Their Unsold Stories Revealed. And I thank you this morning, and I wish you a beautiful week.
You too. All right. I'll see you soon. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks, Maria. You're the best.
You're the best. Bye.